Welcome to Regard. I'm Martika Harper.
And I'm Dr. Heather Hatcher, IDE Navigator at the Clinical and Translational Institute at Wake Forest School of Medicine.
In this video, we will discuss how to determine if your clinical study requires an Investigational Device Exemption, or IDE. To start, you will need to determine if the objective of your study is to determine the safety and/or effectiveness of the device itself.
An example of an investigational device would be a genetic test cleared by the FDA that you plan to use in a different context, such as selecting patients for a drug therapy.
So, if you follow our IDE decision tree and you answer yes, then you will need to determine if your device meets the scope of IDE regulations that can be found in Title 21 of the Code of Federal Regulations, CFR Part 812.2. Check the regulatory links in the Resources section of Regard's website to find the electronic version of the CFR.
If your device is FDA approved and you plan to use the device according to the approved labeling, then the study will be exempt from IDE regulations.
If your device has been FDA approved, but you plan to use it in an off-label manner, then you need to determine if it will be used as a diagnostic.
If the answer is no, then your study may be exempt after you have made a risk determination that your use of the device presents a non-significant risk. You will still need to obtain local IRB approval before your clinical trial may begin. The IRB will act on behalf of the FDA to monitor your study as an abbreviated IDE.
Significant risk criteria can be found in the Title 21 of the Code of Federal Regulations, CFR Part 812.3M. If the device meets the criteria for significant risk, then an IDE will be required from the FDA, followed by local IRB approval.
If your device is FDA approved, used per label, and you answer yes to diagnostic, then you need to assess the following. If testing is non-invasive, does not require invasive sampling that presents significant risk, does not introduce energy, and is confirmed by another method.
If you cannot answer yes to all the criteria for testing, then your diagnostic device may not be exempt from IDE regulations, and you will need to make a risk determination. A significant risk device will require an IDE, and you will still need to obtain local IRB approval before your clinical trial may begin.
If you determine that your diagnostic device is non-significant risk, then the IRB will act on behalf of the FDA to monitor your study as an abbreviated IDE.
We hope that the flowchart that we have provided here on the device section of the Regard website will help you in your preliminary determinations as to how your study should be conducted and whether you will need to proceed to the IDE process. We have provided links to FDA guidance documents which describe FDA's interpretation of a policy on a regulatory issue.
Guidance documents describe FDA's interpretation of a policy on a regulatory issue, and they are not regulations or laws. They are policies intended to achieve consistency in the agency's regulatory approach. Keep in mind that the FDA continuously reviews these policies and procedures, and guidance documents are subject to change. Always confirm that you are referencing the most current guidance document. IDE regulations are found in Title 21 of the Code of Federal Regulations, CFR Part 812.